Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Let's Get Together, a social club for seniors. And I do have to tell you that this program is being recorded for future viewing on our YouTube and other media channels. So if you have joined us sometime in the future and you're watching us on YouTube, please be sure to like the video and subscribe to our channel so you can stay current on all of our future stuff. But I do want to say thank you to AeroCares by Lockheed Martin employees and also Hesta Stewart Christian Trust for grant funding for the program. And I am Heather, your host for today, and we have Kate and her sweet puppy dog Jet joining us for a program called Pets Are Practical. So let me take my stuff off the screen so you can see Kate's face, and I'll pass it along to her.
Perfect.
There you go.
Okay, now let's get my screen going, which is the hardest part sometimes. Okay. Slowly getting a little bit faster at this.
That's a cute little picture.
Thank you. That's
what an
Jet
adorable little
baby.
dude. Oh,
I know.
man.
He was cute when he was little. I mean, he's still cute, but he was even cuter when he was little.
He was extra cute whenever he was a puppy.
Exactly. So welcome. This is Pets Are Practical. And this is our 5th meeting. And there's Jet, my partner in crime, who is asleep on the couch currently. So
how old was Jet in that picture?
He was, my goodness, that was around, I think November, December. So he was around like 3 months at that point. 3 months.
How old is he now?
He is 3 years old now. So one of my friends is a professional photographer, and so she asked if she could please take Jet. Southwestern University has a little mall space. And so she took him and just let him start running, and she got all these really cute pictures of him. So I had to use
little action shots with his floppy ears.
I know. And his bandana that's literally the size of my hand. Like, it's a tiny little bandana. So he's absolutely tiny in that picture.
Love it.
So today's session is about play. So it's one of my favorite topics. Just to start off with a couple definitions, because I've found that it's easier if we just go ahead and talk about this type of stuff. So the definition of play is any activity done for recreation and leisure that is not considered work. So that's the definition. And then finally, I'm going to define occupational therapy again for y'all, because that's what I'm studying, and that's what this program is really trying to get at, is combining pet therapy and occupational therapy. So occupational therapy is a type of therapy that incorporates meaningful everyday activities into the rehabilitation process. So when you think about it, meaningful everyday activities might mean something different for everyone, but usually everyone has to eat, everyone has to get dressed, everyone has to bathe. Social interaction is an everyday activity. Grooming, so what we talked about in week 2, and then finally play. So it's not something that everyone thinks about, but leisure activities are very important to our health.
They're almost therapeutic and restorative.
I completely agree. So some starting questions that I have. You don't have to answer if you don't want to. I just want to get us thinking about the topics that we will be discussing today. So what are some games that you can play with pets? The first one that comes to my mind is fetch.
With that in mind, I'm going to step away for a moment because I have something to show you. Keep going.
Oh, I'm excited for this. So fetch. One of Jet's favorite is tug of war. He loves that one. That's one of his favorites. And then finally moving on to, have you ever played a game with a pet? Mr. Jim, have you ever played a game with a pet?
Yes.
Yes. Awesome.
We had we had basset hounds at our home.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, they were really responsive. I insisted on basset hounds because they look the way I feel.
My goodness.
Yeah, so that was therapeutic for me.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh, what does Heather have?
So my friend has one of these for her dogs, and I fell in love with it. So she got me one for my birthday so I can play fetch with my dog, but it has some dew on it still because I left it outside. But it looks like a little Nerf gun, or a big Nerf gun actually. But down at the bottom, you can remove the ball and you just drop it in here. Let me back up. Sorry. Did you hear it?
Yeah.
So you just drop it in, drop the ball in here, and then you pull this all the way back. And then whenever you pull the trigger, it throws that ball much further than you can ever throw it. And my dog loves it.
Jet needs one of those,
Kate,
because I feel like I can't throw it far enough.
If you want to borrow it, or Mr. Jim, if you ever decide to get a puppy and you want to play fetch on steroids, you can borrow this.
Oh my goodness. I love that.
It's so fun.
I absolutely love that. So, and then talking a little bit about us specifically, what are some of your favorite games to play? Mr. Jim, do you have a favorite game?
We had them all.
You had them all?
Yeah, we wrestled, fetching ball, and then our boys came along, and they were very much aware that they were relegated to some other rank when our sons started coming.
Oh,
yeah,
I love that.
How did they change in behavior or their routine, or what?
I think they got depressed.
You think so? Yeah, I mean, when you go from number one to no longer number one, it makes sense.
Yeah. The later on, we discovered that pets are really more compatible with and protective of children. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure on certain circumstances that's not true, but from what I've read since, they're very protective and sensitive to the child, to the baby.
Yeah.
Well, our first basset hound was named
Mac.
Mac. Mm-hmm. And what did he do when we brought Scott home from the hospital?
Mm-hmm.
He parked himself under Scott's crib.
That's right.
Yes.
Oh, really?
And if Scott started to cry, he would run to us to make sure that we heard him.
Oh, I love it. Isn't that sweet?
It's really sweet. And we have some pictures of when Scott was a little bit older. He was on a quilt or something on the floor and raising his head up some. And Mac came, and they were almost nose to nose. Mm-hmm. Mac was down on, and put his head up and was looking at Scott. They were looking eyeball to eyeball and nose to nose.
Yeah.
That's funny. Do you have a good picture of that?
We did. I don't know where
somewhere.
In the world it is.
That's in the archives somewhere.
Yeah. It was really cute. It was one of our favorites.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
It's adorable.
And then moving on, how often do you play a game? So in my mind, my favorite game is Candy Crush, and I play it on my phone all the time, which is just a little, how do I describe Candy Crush? I I don't know. I also like Words with Friends, so word games. Those are my favorite, and I play them quite often. It's usually a daily occurrence for me.
It's good.
All right.
What about you, Mr. Jim? Do you play games regularly?
I don't have a pet, but
No, but do you play maybe games with Linda or games on a tablet or a device?
no,
Are you
That's
not
okay.
much of a game fan?
I'm not a game fan, especially when it's liable to show how ignorant you are. I'm not interested in playing that game.
That's fair.
Oh, man.
Now we're going to go through some games, and I'm going to wake Mr. Jet up because he is asleep. But there he is on the screen. So, one of Jet's favorite games to play is Fetch. And currently he is still asleep. Wake up, Jet. Come on. Thank you. But Fetch is one of his favorite things to play. Tennis balls are usually what we play it with. He, last time I checked, had chewed up all the tennis balls that we have, so that we have no more tennis balls in my house at the moment. So when we go to the dog park, we will not be using a tennis ball today. I already looked for one. We just don't have one in the house. Another game that we'll be doing here in a second at the dog park, because I live super close to our dog park in the apartment, so we're going to go there here in a second. Tug of war. Jet loves tug of war. That most of the time, this is what we end up playing. We have a little rope, like the one on the screen, and he thinks it's the best game ever.
Oh, I love it.
Yep. So the steps to tug of war, if you're not aware, grab a towel, tie some knots, or you can use a little rope like Jet has. Show the new toy to your dog. Then you're going to hold it firmly when your dog bites on the toy because Jet is strong. And then you're going to keep playing until your dog gets tired, which some dogs
or until
it's super
you
simple.
get tired. Sometimes you tire out first.
I was about to say sometimes it's the other way around. For me, it's usually the other way around because Jet is he doesn't tire very easily. All right. Game 3, tag. This one is hit or miss. Everything, I did a lot of research on the play topic with animals because I was like, what type of games could we possibly play? And tag popped up, and Jet and I attempted the other day to play tag, and he did not get it. It turned into a big game of chase between us. So we will attempt that here in a second. I don't know how well it's going to go, just a fair warning. But there's just another cute picture of Jet.
Oh, so sweet. All
right. And so our dog park at the apartment has a agility course type of thing. So they have a tunnel. They have lots of tunnels, actually. And then they have this little ramp. And I attempted to find the picture that I have of Jet on the ramp because he's terrified of the ramp. He'll go through the tunnels, no problem. But something about being up high on that ramp, he does not like it. I tried everything. So I will be attempting to see if he will do that today for us. But
okay. But no promises, huh?
I was gonna say no promises on that one. We tried to practice it and it did not go how I wanted it to. So we will see.
That's funny.
All right. Another thing when it comes to play, I know a lot of people have heard the term zoomies in dogs. So it's just when dogs get super excited and they start running around, and Jet usually goes in circles is what he does. But everyone calls them zoomies, but they're also known as frenetic random activity periods or FRAPs. So after all my research, I know, I did not know that. So just a little fun fact for us. There's no known cause for zoomies or fraps at all.
Other than excitement, extreme excitement.
Exactly. So they appear to be a way for dogs to release built up energy, alleviate stress, or show their excitement.
Cool.
So I mean, it's good when they get the zoomies. It's really good. Jack gets the zoomies a lot. And it, after all the research, it might be a pet's way of telling their owner that they need more exercise or mental stimulation. So that's another part of it. It could be they're either bored, they're excited, they have a lot of energy, or they're trying to alleviate some stress that they have. So that's about zoomies. All right, so play is important. That's my main point. And this is for pets because training purposes, pets need to know when it is time to play and when it is time to not play. So training is important. Mental stimulation. So it allows them to kind of get that brain work that we as humans might get through some of our brain games that we play, or doing schoolwork, anything like that is mental stimulation. Reading. Another reason that play is important is for fun. Dogs need to have fun, just like humans. They need to, moving on to my next point, they need to get exercise. So just making sure that they get that important part is really good for them, just so they don't get bored. Another reason that play is important is because it produces bonding between the pet and the owner. So if you are playing with your pet, then they're going to build better rapport with you, and everything like that. So, and then finally, social interaction. Play, dogs usually can play with other dogs. They get to have that social interaction. All right, and then play is important for you as a human because it releases stress. It improves brain function, so it improves your reaction time, problem solving, and communication skills. It improves relationships, positively affects mental health, and decreases the risk of depression. So, final point that I'm going to hit home is play is important.
Play is very important.
So that
for
is the end of our
everybody
presentation.
involved.
Yes, exactly. That's the end of my presentation. And now there's my resources. And Jet and I are going to head on over really quickly.
Isn't it awesome that you have a dog park at your apartment complex?
Oh, it is so nice.
Oh
I absolutely love it.
Yeah, I'm reminded of when Jason was deployed and I was working a lot, and I had a puppy German Shepherd. And he already had, plenty of energy, but then the fact that he was a puppy had extra energy. And that energy I could not match when I came home from work. And and so I would come in from work, and poor thing, she had been in a crate really all day long while I was at work. And I just didn't want to go for a run or a big long walk or anything like that. So, and there was no dog park at the apartment complex that I was in, but there was a fenced in area around the swimming pool. And so I would walk her around until the sun went down, and then we would go into that fenced in area where the swimming pool was, and I would play fetch with her, and I would throw the ball and she would run and bring it back. But sometimes the ball would bounce into the water and she would just run and jump into the water and swim around, and it was all fine and good, but no animals were allowed in that area. And so it kind of turned into us running from security a couple of times when the security guard would come out and he would say, "Hey, get out of that pool." Okay, we'd hustle back to the house. And then I thought, oh, we can do that without getting caught. We'll just be quiet. And then I was like, and then I got caught again, and I went, oh, I got to find something else. So then I just had to go on walks, whether I wanted to or not.
Oh,
The things you do to accommodate the home life whenever someone's deployed, you know.
Yeah.
You don't have that family unit any longer.
Oh, well, Jet and I are on our way. And he is ready.
It almost looks like he knows where he's going. He's so excited.
Oh, he 100% knows where he's going. He loves going.
That's so sweet. Oh, Bella.
He's awake now.
Wide awake.
Finally. Finally. All right. It's the fun part to see if anyone else is in the dog park or not. We will see. He's like, Mom, come on. We're almost there, Jet. We're almost there. Come on. Okay. So here is the dog park. We have made it. All right. And here's Jet. We're gonna watch him, see what he does. Jet, come on. Jet.
Gotta sniff everything.
It's exactly what he has to do. Jet. Come on.
That's a pretty little dog park. A
Oh, it
well-maintained
is
little
so
area.
nice.
Yeah, and it's a nice day for it too. Kind of
Let's
cool.
say the church is right over there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's super nice. Jet, come on. Come on. So this is the ramp I was talking about. And I don't think he's gonna do it at all. He's still not even running around. Okay, come on. We have 3 minutes, Jet. Go. Run.
I almost wonder what they smell for, you know, when they're smelling everything and then they kind of have to tinkle a little bit, and sometimes they push their nose really hard into whatever they're smelling, you know, and sometimes they might
Yes.
kind of taste it, and I just always wonder sometimes what's going through their little heads.
I do too. You never know. He's looking like he's not gonna play right now. So who knows?
Hey, Mr. Jim, that first puppy dog that you mentioned earlier would sleep under your son's
Yes,
crib. What kind of dog was that?
Basset Hound.
A basset hound.
Mhm.
Did you have any pets outside of that basset hound?
Good job.
Are there any?
What is it?
Are there any other?
Did you have any pets besides that one?
No, that was pretty much our. And as far as I had an old coon dog back in. I guess I was 6 or 7.
Okay.
And he really belonged to a neighbor up the street, and but the dog spent most of his time with me, and so he told my dad, "If you'll feed him, I'll give him to you," because he knew that I played with him all the time, and he stayed with us at night and whatnot. So Lynn said, "The trailer just seems like things are going well with the dog, and so if you want to, you just manage things."
Nice.
So I was pleased about that.
I bet. And you were about 6 or 7, you said?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What was that dog's name?
Coon.
Coon. Well, that's fitting.
That's what his previous.
He was a coon dog. Did he tree any squirrels or anything?
he was a coon dog. He was a hunting dog.
Did he tree any animals for you?
No, he never did sassy away and go off into rabbit trails.
Uh-huh.
We lived in this little town, and everybody knew everybody, and I think we knew pretty well who the dogs were.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
That's awesome.
I appreciate both of you guys jumping on here. This has been kind of a fun little activity.
Sure.
I almost
Yes.
kind of feel like we're chasing Jet around,
That's
kinda-
how I feel.
kind of
right
creeping
now.
on him a little bit.
That's how I feel. But thank y'all so much for joining. And that's the
Yeah.
end of my stuff. So
Thank
Well,
you.
Absolutely. Well, I do want to tell you, I have to kind of clarify real quick because I said earlier in an earlier program that today was Where in the World is Heather? So I didn't mean to tell a fib. But tomorrow we have Texas Winds Entertainment Group. And then on Friday, we have the Fort Worth Museum of Science and History. So I'm excited to share some of these cool little programs with you guys later this week. So we'll see you cats again later on.
Okay.
I hope you have a beautiful day. Enjoy this sunshine.
You do.
bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye, everybody.